It's a bit of a miracle the Eagles got practice in on Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it poured before practice. I mean, I was driving down 95 and it was a monsoon, flooding, torrential rain. I thought there's no way they're going to practice outside. Then it stops raining. They practice outside. And as soon as they're done, it starts pouring again. And who's the idiot who's covered this team most of his life who forgot his raincoat today? This one. So yeah, not the smartest guy today.
Maybe you got to just leave one at the facility.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. And I could also leave an NBC polo on my desk, but I didn't do that, so my shirt is soaking wet. But hey, you live and learn, you know.
It's like me, day one of training camp with sunscreen.
Yeah.
You get better as the training camp goes on.
I just need reps, Dave.
That's all you need. After how many years, you still need these reps.
Hey, you can always keep getting better.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. This is the Eagle Eye Podcast brought to you by Nissan. Reuben Frank and Dave Zangaro with you. Day 6 of training camp in the books. This was a lighter practice. They lasted for about 75 minutes outside. No pads in this practice. So they went kind of hard the last couple of days. They eased off the gas pedal a little bit.
Yeah, and that's kind of how Nick's going to do it. And then if there's a day off or a walkthrough, they might ease up also and kind of give them a chance to recover physically. I think physically they're in a pretty good place. I'm not talking about injuries, but just fitness, and guys seem to be in good shape and running well late into the third straight. This is the first time they've had 3 straight days, and I thought they looked good.
I agree, and some of the guys got a little bit of a break today. We'll get into that. It was funny, though, because it wasn't a super highlight-filled practice, and one of the other reporters was like, a tough day for observations.
Never.
And I said, look, if the day comes where I can't come up with 10 observations from a practice, I'll hang it up. That's
really?
The end.
Is that a promise?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'll always come up with at least 10. There's things to observe.
Yeah.
So let's get into that first. We talked to a bunch of players after practice. We talked to Vic Fangio before practice. So all that coming up and some questions from you guys as well. But let's get into the day of practice. Before the session began, they signed Brandon Hayes, a receiver who was with them in the offseason. Really a camp body. They've had some injuries to the receivers. They needed some more players.
They needed healthy legs. These guys, you don't want to overwork guys with too many reps. So Brandon Hayes will come in, he'll run some practices, and then he'll get cut.
Yeah, most likely.
Most likely.
Let's get into the injury report. The most notable thing was that the Eagles' starting offense, was without 4 players, potentially 4 players. Devontae Smith, Mekhi Lemon missed their 2nd straight days with hamstring injuries. Lane Johnson missed his 4th straight day with a non-injury designation, and then excused absence. And then Landon Dickerson got a rest day.
He eventually came out. I saw Devontae. I didn't see Mekhi. Was he out there?
I didn't see him.
I didn't see Mekhi.
Oh, I did see him. Actually, I saw him at the end of the day. He jogged back inside, So
he had to be outside to go back inside.
Yeah, but he was jogging too, which is
that's good. And I thought Devontae looked good just walking. He looked okay. Landon had some sort of compression sleeve on his left knee. Something to note.
Left leg.
Something to keep an eye on. But yeah.
Micah Morris and Jaden Roberts, after missing a couple of days, they returned, but they were limited, so they didn't do any team drills.
But a good sign for those guys, especially Micah Morris, the guy they drafted. You want him out there getting as many reps as he can.
Yeah, 2 other rookies still not practicing, Keyshawn James Newby and Cole Wisniewski.
Linebacker and a safety.
Okay, let's get into the depth chart stuff. And because there were players missing, it was a little different today. Markel Bell, for the 2nd straight day, got all of the reps at starting right tackle. In place of Landon Dickerson was Drew Kendall.
Yeah, and those are both notable. I mean, this is how you learn who they like as far as, who's going to make the roster. I think they're pretty high on Drew Kendall. I think he's going to be that next guy in at guard, at either guard or at center.
I thought he looked good today.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good player. I think he's come a long way. And I'll tell you what, 2 days in a row for Markel Bell, getting the reps, all the reps with the ones is certainly notable.
Yeah. And from, with Drew Kendall, from a body size standpoint, he kind of fits a prototypical like Shanahan scheme more than a big lumbering guy like Landon Dickerson. Not saying he's been better, but I think he could play in this offense
I
at
do
guard,
too.
which like he came into the league from Boston College and everyone thought he was maybe a center only, but he's worked hard to learn the other positions.
No, that's a good point. I remember when they got him. I mean, that was the word. He was just a center. And on this team, I mean, where there's such a premium on versatility, you can't be just a center. I mean, you're not going to make the team. And he gradually started getting guard in his toolbox, and I think he's become a pretty good one.
Yeah, and I think back to the draft before they took Drew Kendall, they took Dylan McMahon. And he, to me, like if you had to pick one of those two guys to play guard, it would be Kendall. I feel like his frame can handle a little bit extra weight more.
Yeah, it's fair.
So the offensive lines, Jordan Mailata, Drew Kendall, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen, Markel Bell, that first unit. The second team, Fred Johnson, Jake Majors, Willie Lampkin, Michael Jordan, John Ojukwu. Third team, Holland Pierce, Miles Hinton, Willie Lampkin, Michael Jordan, Cameron Williams. A little short on bodies right now, so some of these guys got a lot of reps today.
Yeah, Willie was out there. I don't know how many reps Willie Lampkin took, but he was out there. And he probably loves it. I mean, he was hurt last year, so he probably needs him and likes it. Interesting that, did Jake Majors get any work at center? It seemed like he was just a guard.
He was guard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's coming into shape. Who are the backups going to be? Looks good. Obviously, Markel Bell, I mean, he's going to make the team. But Drew Kendall, late round guy. They seem to like Willie Lampkin and Jake Majors. So we'll see where they end up.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Johnson, I don't know. Do you need to keep Markel Bell and Fred Johnson? Probably.
That's a fair question though.
Yeah.
I think they would. I think they're not gonna. I don't think they would cut Fred Johnson. He's a veteran. I think they see the value in him. Could he just like get beat out by Markel Bell? Possibly. And I think they'd be okay with that outcome, certainly.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you'd be in a hurry to just get rid of Fred.
Chris Cooper did a lot of one-on-one with Fred Johnson today. I was just watching the O-lineman, spent a lot of time with him.
I wonder how Fred's handling this because he's, a few years ago, he was like almost nothing in the league. He gets built up to the point where he thinks maybe I can go start somewhere. It doesn't work out. He comes back. He's still like the very clear, obvious backup offensive tackle. And now there's a chance he could be demoted a little bit. I wonder how he's dealing with all that.
Yeah, it's an interesting question because, I mean, he was really proud of the work he did to get where he was and to become the backup swing tackle. And yeah, it's a great question. We haven't talked to him. We haven't talked to either of those guys. Well, we talked to Markel. You talked to Markel. But Drew Kendall, we haven't talked to. Fred Johnson, we haven't talked to. So it's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's not easy for him.
And then I mentioned some of the other guys got days off on defense. So Zach Bong, Quinyon Mitchell, Reek Woolen, and Cooper DeJean, they did 7-on-7s. They did individual. They just didn't partake in 11-on-11 team drills. So Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Jonathan Jones, Keely Ringo, and Michael Carter were the replacements for them.
Yeah, so that's like a good chunk of your secondary there.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into some of the observations from today. I thought the Eagles' offense in 7-on-7s got off to a really hot start. Jalen Hurts looked good. He hit Dallas Goedert on the first pass of that period. And then the highlight throw came to Dontavian Wicks, kind of a deep crosser, hit him toward the left sideline, had to layer this throw a little bit over the top of Andre Sam, who I thought had pretty good coverage on Wicks. It was just a perfect pass, and Wicks was exactly where he needed to be.
Yeah, and he's been making some plays. I mean, he's definitely been, out of all those acquisitions, those wide receiver acquisitions from the offseason, he's really stood out. I don't think any of them have been bad. Elijah Moore's made some plays. Hollywood's made some plays, but Dontavian every day is doing something to get your attention.
Yeah, I think he's very firmly the second best receiver in this camp. How would you, we did this the other day. Has it changed at all for you? Obviously, Devontae is still number one. I have Wicks number two. I think my number three is Darius Cooper.
I think I would agree. Although Jeremy Macklin was there today. He looked pretty good. He might be my three.
Okay.
But yeah, I would have Cooper. And then between Hollywood and Elijah Moore, I think it's very close. I'd probably have Elijah Moore ahead of him right now. The last few days, maybe Hollywood made more plays early. Elijah Moore has.
I think I would have Hollywood ahead of him still.
But I think it's close.
It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a really fun competition. We thought it would be fun, and it has been.
It has. Yep.
So the second team offense, so the Eagles started off with their first team offense against the second team defense in 7-on-7. So then it flipped, and it was second team offense versus first team defense. And because we didn't get a chance to see a lot of those players in team drills, I think I know why. It's because they were so good in 7-on-7s. There was just nowhere for Tanner McKee to throw the football.
Yeah, sometimes, this defense, and these guys have played together, most of them for 3 years, they're just suffocating the offense. And, I wonder if there's a point where Nick and Sean Mann are just like, we can't make a play here. So, get some other guys in there, get some backups in there so we can at least get the work in that we need. Because this defense, when they have all the ones out there, they're at full strength, can't make a play against them.
Yeah, and that really was what it was. Tanner McKee's trying to go through his reads. He's like, he keeps patting the football, and there's nowhere for him to deliver the ball.
Does that help, pat the football?
Probably not.
It's just, I don't know. I'll do a story on that.
Okay. The next thing I have, Jalen Hurts as a runner. They use another zone read in this practice. I thought he looked really quick getting out of that, made the decision quickly, took off. And then there was a play later in practice where, it was a scramble. There was nothing open downfield. But what I loved so much about that play was he just made the decision quickly and took off. There was no hesitation from him. And I don't know exactly how it's going to work with him as a runner in this offense. I don't think he does either. I asked him about it. He said it's too early to tell. But the last 4 days of practice, they've had at least one either design QB run or some sort of a zone read or RPO with the option of him running the football. So I think they want to make it part of what they do.
And I think he looks good running. I think he looks fast. I think he looks elusive. I know some people thought he had slowed down, and that's why he wasn't running as much last year. I don't see it. I think maybe he's not quite as fast as when he came out in 2020, but I think he could still make a lot of plays. And he's such a weapon. I think Sean Mannion understands that it's a part of the offense that he needs. Maybe not some of those 17 carry games he used to have, but he can make plays that way, and why not?
Yeah. Now the tricky thing about this is they're going to be under center a lot more, so it's really tough to get the QB run game going under center. It's almost going to be non-existent.
Yeah.
So you don't want to telegraph it that it's not, only when you're in shotgun, which is a more limited set of plays this year, but they're still going to be in shotgun. So it's not like they're going to be in under center 100% of their snaps. I think it's probably going to, I don't know where it's going to be, but you're still going to be in shotgun quite a bit, especially on third downs and stuff. So I think there still are going to be opportunities for him to run the ball.
Yeah, you can't telegraph what you're going to do by the formation, and Sean Mannion's smart enough to understand that. So I think it's something we'll see more than last year. That's my guess.
I think they should.
I do too.
Not that it's a waste to not use Jalen Hurts like that, because I think he's a good quarterback. I think he can stand in the pocket and win you games. But sometimes you're looking for what makes a player different or special, and that's part of what makes him who he is. That's part of what has made him such a successful quarterback, is that ability to be a dual threat. I don't think you want to lose that altogether.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much he likes that. I think he wants to be a pocket quarterback, and that's fine. But he's too good at it to not do it.
Yeah. Ultimately, you might be right about that, but ultimately, he wants to win.
Yeah.
And if that gives them the best chance to win, I think he'll be open to it.
Yeah.
Quez Watkins.
Camp Darling.
One of the plays of the day. I don't think he's a Camp Darling because I don't think any of the fans are going to get excited about Quez.
I was wearing my Quez Watkins cap.
But what was your Watkins Glen?
Quez Watkins Glen. Yeah.
It was a heck of a play by Quez. Little pass to the flat to Quez Watkins. He kind of had a little hezzy step against Ambry Thomas, and then he turned on the burners, beat him to the corner, and then ran for a pretty good yak yardage into the end zone for a touchdown. It was a nice play. Still has that speed.
He looked fast, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was never the question with Quiz. He can run. No signal from the refs, though.
Did you see that
Yeah.
live? It was very funny. The refs didn't put up their arms for a touchdown, and Jalen Hurts from the sideline started motioning to him, like to the ref, like, yo.
He's like,
yeah.
come on.
So finally the ref put his arms up.
Yeah.
And Jalen was happy about that. I've noticed that about Jalen a little bit. He's having more fun.
That's a good point. I think it's a really good observation. And he said today, what did he say? Football, it's a fun game. It should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's enjoying himself.
More than I expected. There's a lot on his plate right now, learning a new offense. And you could understand if he's like, I don't have time for the fun and games. I got to.
But I like seeing that. I like seeing that animated side of him.
We saw it a couple of days ago in the bubble in that practice. He was asked about that. I want to get to that in a minute. But
with Saquon's celebration?
No, it was the Elijah Moore one.
Oh, okay. Because he and Saquon had a nice little celebration after a keeper, actually, for a touchdown in that indoor practice. But, he's in his 7th year now, and he's not a kid anymore. So you like seeing that. You like seeing just that kind of enthusiasm.
I have another Jeremiah Trotter Jr. note.
Yeah.
I feel like we're a broken record on this, but every time he gets put out there, he looks really good.
People don't know what a broken record is anymore.
I know the expression.
I guess there's a lot of vinyl. Do we have a lot of vinyl collectors watching the podcast, listening?
I feel like vinyl is making a comeback.
I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So people do know what a broken record is. Okay. He's really good. He can play in this league. And I think today was a great day for him.
I thought it was really good. So he's out there in place of Zach Bond, who just kind of got the day off in team drills. So it's Jeremiah Trotter Jr. next to Jahad Campbell. And he just flows to the football. It's, he's not the fastest guy, but he's instinctive, and his lateral movement, his feet getting side to side and just timing it up. Like, how many times today did you see him meet the running back in the hole? Exactly where he's supposed to be.
Yeah. You almost feel like he might've grown up around the game. I don't know where that comes from. But yeah, he's been coached at a really high level, and he just has those intangibles. I mean, those instincts you talked about. He's one of the more instinctive linebackers you'll see. Just, you're right. I mean, he's not the biggest guy. He's not the fastest guy, and that's why he was drafted where he was drafted. But he knows the game. He knows where the play's going. I think he's really smart, and it's not like he's small or slow. He just isn't prototypical.
Yeah, he's not Jahad Campbell.
No, but. Man, every time he's out there, gosh, he just makes plays.
And we can lump this in a little bit. Vic Fangio was asked if Trotter could carve out some sort of a role. He said, don't know yet, but it's possible. I think it would be very limited.
Yeah.
I don't hate that idea, especially with the versatility that Bond and Campbell have. You could run them down to the edge for a play and send out 3 linebackers here and there.
You could. I think if he's going to have a role, it's going to be playing for a guy that's hurt, but
most likely, we're talking about a handful of
couple plays. Why not? I would have total faith in him if he had to play. And he talked about the value. Well, we'll get into the interviews, but he just talked today about the value of getting reps with Zach and with Jahad, and just how important that is if he ever has to play with them.
There was a moment late in practice today. I looked to the backfield, and there's Cole Payton starting to stretch his arm up a little bit. Didn't get any reps all of practice. It was a short, light practice, so it was a lot of work for Jalen Hurts, Tanner McKee, and Andy Dalton. So Cole Payton, 5th-round rookie, just had to chomping
at the bit.
Had to wait his turn. He gets in there and promptly throws in heavy coverage.
Quadruple coverage.
Off.
Yeah. He's something. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a young quarterback who's just so fearless as far as just firing away, no matter how many D-backs are covering the guy he's throwing to. He'll just chuck it in there. It's really something. It's kind of fun.
It's fun for us. And I don't think people are going to read that he has 4 interceptions and 6 practices and limited reps and be like, he must stink. He doesn't. I mean, he's a talented ball thrower. He can laser some throws in there, and he's made some really good plays. The decision making has been questionable. And I wonder what the coaches think about that. Like, they'd probably rather a kid have confidence and have to rein him in versus like the alternative.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to take that away from him. It's a good question for Nick or Parks or whoever, Sean. But I mean, he followed that interception with a nice play. I think it was the next snap. It was the very next snap.
A few plays later.
Thank you to Eric Azuman again.
What was that?
Azukanma.
Yeah.
Azukanma. Eric Azukanma. It was a nice ball. So he doesn't get gun shy after his picks. I mean, he'll fire away the next snap.
Short memory.
Yeah. I like the kid. I mean, he can move, he can run, he's got a live arm. He just doesn't know where the heck it's going half the time.
Terry Castro Fields is the guy who picked off that pass. It got batted in the air. He picks it off. He also ended that period with a nice pass breakup on Eli Stowers.
He can play a little bit. He's not going to make the team, but
he's been around for a while, and like they like him. It's just there's not a spot for him.
No.
Some odds and ends. Stone Smart, bad drop in the middle
Terrible.
of the field. And as I told a lot of people, it's a bad day to have a drop because the notes were a little light. So like it's getting in there. Darius Cooper almost had an incredible.
He's a tight end, by the way, Stone Smart.
He is, former Jets tight end. Darius Cooper nearly had another great catch. This was a really perfectly placed ball by Jalen Hurts in the back corner of the end zone. It would have been a really, really tough catch, but it was one that Cooper almost pulled in.
Yeah, it was exciting. And there was a moment where I didn't see the ball pop out, and I thought he caught it. But then you see the ball come out. But yeah, it was a perfect pass. He was in the right place, and he'll make that catch a good portion of the time.
Yeah, he has a knack for the spectacular catches.
Yeah. He's not making a lot of routine catches. A few here and there.
A few.
Yeah. I like the kid.
I do too. I like him a lot. A little bit of extracurricular pushing and shoving in this practice.
A little bit.
Didn't
come to anything.
No fights yet, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Do you have any? So Sidney Brown is no longer here. Do you have a leader in the clubhouse for first fight?
Leader in the clubhouse for first fight. I'm going to go. So a guy on each side of the ball. Like who's going to?
Sure, you can take both sides.
I'm going to go Smile Mondon.
Okay.
Versus.
He was mixing it up a little bit today.
Versus Cam Latu.
Cam Latu's a good one. He plays
little hothead.
He's physical. That's a good one. Those are good.
Bold predictions for first fight.
Yeah, I like it. So to me, I always love to pick like the veteran who's got to prove himself here. I don't have my roster in front of me, so it's a little harder. Let me find the Eagles roster. Who would be a good one? I'm going to go Fred Johnson.
Could be.
I think he's probably a little ticked off right now about his position. So
who's he mixing it up with?
I don't know. AJ Epinesa and him got into it a little bit today. Epinesa seems like a little too mild-mannered. So I don't think it's going to be him. It has to be... It would be another... You know what? But that they're going to face each other the most.
I asked Jonathan Jones what he remembers about Eagles-Patriots joint practices a couple years ago, and big smile, and he goes, a lot of fights.
There were a lot of fights, huh?
I'll be on the other side of that one in a couple weeks.
I will say Fred Johnson and Jose Ramirez.
Okay. Could see that.
Okay.
Jose Ramirez looks like he wants to fight somebody.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I just made that up.
Okay. I don't have much else today. We didn't see Jeremy Maclin. You told me he was there, and I missed him for a while. I saw him well after practice, so I had to go up and chat with him a little bit.
I love that guy. One of my favorites. We had a good chat. Always good seeing him. He said it was the first time he's been back at the facility since he signed with the Chiefs.
Wow.
I guess after the 2014 season, so 12 years. His family was vacationing in Margate, so he just came up for the day.
That's nice.
Yeah.
He's he was talking to me a little bit about like coaching high school football. Did he tell you this, that his offense is a blend of Chip Kelly and Andy Reid?
He told me, well, I asked him if it's closer to Marty or Big Red. He said, oh, Big Red. He said, yeah, I don't want to run Marty's offense. No, he didn't say that, but he's doing well. His team has been really, really good the last few years. It's his alma mater. It's his old high school. Mm-hmm. He's coaching at. Great guy. He was a really, really good player for a few years. Had a little bad luck with the injuries. And then when Foles got hurt, he was having an incredible year. He was on pace for like 1,600 yards. And then that number went down when Sanchez started playing. But good guy, good player. We talked, he was really good like at the end. And we had a good chat about like he could have played a couple more years and been productive. He said, when you find that you don't love the things you used to love, that then it's time to move on and do something else. And he said, I realized like the routine coming to practice, training camp, I didn't love that like I used to. And I didn't want to go out there and, do it 50%. So it was time.
It's been fun seeing all the former players roll through. Mike
Mamula was there today. Good chat with Mike. Doing well.
My stupid observation of the day was Nick Sirianni had a Jalen Carter t-shirt on. He really does roll through these player-specific t-shirts, doesn't he?
Yeah, his closet's got to be just full of Eagles t-shirts. Yeah.
I think it is neat. Like if you're a player and you saw your head coach walk out wearing a t-shirt with you on it, that'd be pretty cool.
That AJ Epinesa t-shirt was a little surprising to me.
People like he wore a Drew Makuba one the other day. People really liked it.
Did he?
Oh, I got to tell you this. So I was driving home in South Jersey last night, and there was a pop-up LeBron James merch tent.
Really?
Yeah. Like jerseys and t-shirts and banners, and it was all LeBron stuff.
Was it licensed? Was it official?
I doubt it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was just surprised to see it.
So it sounds like he's going to live in New York and commute here by chopper.
That was the first thing we heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you do that? Maybe chopper in every day?
No. I don't think so.
The NBC Sports chopper?
Yeah. I don't think I'd be able to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to get into what we heard at practice, and then we have questions as well.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, we've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself and shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
Hey, Eagles fans, get ready for Nashville. Join Eagles Fan Travel as we take over Music City. Enjoy premium hotels, guaranteed game tickets, and unforgettable game day experiences. Don't miss one of the hottest road trips of 2026. Book now at eaglesfantravel.com. All right, Rube, we started off the day with Vic Fangio, a nice morning with Vic, who was given the Dr. Z Award for Lifetime Achievement for an assistant coach. That's an award that's gone on for a while. Jeff Salin won it last year, I believe. So pretty cool award from the PFWA. Vic Fangio got that.
Yeah, Dr. Z was, and I worked with him when I was stringing for SI. Just a unique old-time football writer who he was the first guy to keep preseason stats. So he would call me like after an Eagles preseason game. Eagles played the Jets. He'd call me and be like, I need Ken O'Brien's stats as soon as possible, whatever. But really groundbreaking guy as a reporter. Just one of the best. So it's a really cool honor. It was good to see.
Yeah, and certainly Vic is deserving of that.
Oh yeah.
Takeaways from what he said today? Anything?
Well, he spoke so highly of Trot. That was really cool. I think he's a big Trot fan. I think how can you not be watching him play? He did say, we were talking about linebackers, and he did say, don't sleep on Chance Campbell, who's a guy who was here on the practice squad last year and looks like a player. I mean,
he said, like, when you're putting your lists together,
yeah,
don't sleep on Chance Campbell now.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to put him on our 53.
Maybe Vic's got money in the pool and he's
the roster pool.
Yeah. No, but they really do seem to like Chance Campbell. And we've talked about this, but their linebacker depth is legit. It really
It
is. I
is.
mean, to have Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell at the top. I mean, to lose one of your starters and to come back and feel like your depth is just as good is pretty rare.
And that's what Howie's gotten really good at is, I mean, they're going to lose players. They're going to lose really good players, mainly on defense lately. But he's drafting the guys to replace them, and he's good at that.
I did ask him about Jahad Campbell being able to blitz because we saw that on day 5. He sent Campbell on a blitz, and it was something that was so effective with Nakobe Dean. So I just asked him if Campbell has that in his bag, and he said he thinks he does, but you don't really know until he starts to do it. But I think ideally they'd be able to send him at times. It's not like Vic's going to just go blitz heavy all the time, but he likes to pick and choose his moments.
Yeah, and I think Jahad's athletic enough and big and strong enough to be able to do a lot of things. I think that's one thing he'll get good at. It might take a while.
I don't really have anything else from Vic.
That's about it.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. After practice, we did talk to Jalen Hurts. He mentioned, so the one thing I wanted to bring up was he was asked about his exuberance from a play in the bubble. It was a big shot he hit to Elijah Moore. And he did reveal that the reason he was excited about that was a redemption moment for Moore because Moore screwed up a route earlier in the practice in 7-on-7s when we thought this was the case. When Quinyon Mitchell picked off Jalen Hurts for that pick 6, that was on Elijah Moore. That wasn't the point of Jalen Hurts' story. I think the point was that's why he was excited because Moore had redemption, but he did reveal that pick wasn't on him.
Yeah, it was good. It was good stuff. And that's that enthusiasm we've seen from Jalen. I think those are the kind of things that make him a great leader and a great teammate.
Other notes from Jalen? Anything on your mind?
He talked about where the offense is, said he likes where they are. I thought today was a little bit of a bounce back day after a really bad day yesterday, following a good day on Monday. So it's going to be up and down. I think he's having a good camp. I think he's putting the ball where he wants to, and he's seeing the field. This is all new to him. But yeah, I like where he is.
I have a couple of the notes from Jalen. He was asked about the review day on Monday because that was the best day of Eagles practice so far. And it shouldn't be shocking that when they were going back over stuff that they already installed, they looked better. Like, duh, of course they did. But that's important to remember that like the install sometimes like that's where you're supposed to make mistakes. It's not supposed to look perfect on the first time you're running these concepts. So on the second time through, it looked a lot better. And you have to remember that like, when they run this stuff in games, it's not going to be the install anymore. Hopefully like the idea is that you get the kinks out now so you don't have to worry about it when it matters.
Yeah. I was talking to Quick the other day about he was saying how, can you imagine how hard it is to learn a play and go out and run it the next day or later that day against Vic's defense, a play you just learned that you're just installing that you've never run before against maybe the best defense in the league or top 5 defense easily. He said that's really, really hard. And it's understandable that there's going to be ups and downs.
Speaking of that, Vic did pat himself on the back a little bit.
He did.
It was a way to say don't panic about the offense not looking good, but he said we've kind of gotten the better of the offense the last 2 years.
He did say that, yeah.
Which I thought was very funny.
He was talking about yesterday's practice. He said, yeah, we got the better of them by a long shot. And he paused. He said, by a long shot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no lacking in confidence in Vic.
Good. You don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you want him to have confidence. What was my other Jalen one that I wanted to... Oh, man. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about with Jalen. Oh, at the end, Dontavian Wicks. He really seems to be a big fan of Wicks. He talked about how Wicks just like has some extra anger in him. And he's like, you find that out in these days of training camp, like which guys have that to them. And he said Wicks is one that he can tell he does.
I actually did know who he was talking about because the question was on the other side of the tent. I couldn't hear the question, but I heard the answer. It was a good answer. I just didn't know who it was about.
It was about Dontavian.
Yeah. Dontavian's having a good summer.
Yeah. He goes by Tay.
Yeah. So is Taylor Swift. So it could be a little confusing if you're talking to Kelsey.
Anything else from player interviews?
We mentioned Trot. Talked about Trot, just very confident. Feels like he's made a big leap from last year. in year 3 here. Says if he has to play, he's totally comfortable, totally confident. Talked to Jonathan Jones a little bit.
Quiet camp, but not a bad thing.
No, I think he's been okay. And he just talked about how talented that room is and how much fun it is for him. He's been in the same place for what was he, 9 years in New England, or 8-9 years?
Yeah, and then 1 year, where was he? Washington or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
He talked about how he thought it'd be a lot harder to keep himself in shape as he got older, as he got into his early 30s. He said it's not. He said, I just keep doing what I've always done and it's working for me.
Hey.
That was surprising. We talked to Eli Stowers a little bit. Not down on himself. He's had a very quiet first couple of weeks. He said he expected it to be challenging. He said, there's ups and downs in football. That's just the nature of it. It's not how it's all about how you respond, and he feels like he's getting better and he's learning. We just haven't really seen it. He talked about how big it is for him to have. I mean, Dallas Goedert and Johnny Mundt have 19 combined years experience, and how they've been really generous in their time and helping him with stuff. So we just haven't seen a lot from Eli yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Did catch a pass today.
Talked to Darius Cooper a little bit. He had surgery in the offseason on that shoulder that was kind of ailing him throughout his rookie year. So he said he feels healthy now. Still playing with a chip on his shoulder, that proverbial chip on the shoulder, because you think about like this time last year, he was introducing himself to everyone, but he's continued that momentum this year. And I've been impressed by him. I think Jalen Hurts has probably been impressed by him too.
Yeah, and it's interesting to hear about the shoulder surgery because, I mean, the way he plays it, he's a very physical player. Mm-hmm. And how many times have we seen him land on his shoulder, like making a diving catch or trying to make a diving catch? So that's good that he feels healthy enough to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get the questions. If you have one for us, eagle at NBCUni.com, QR code on the screen. Real quick before questions, though, Stefon Diggs signing with the Commanders. What do you make of that move?
I think he's still a good player. He's had a great career. What is he, 32?
I can look that up for you.
Maybe 32.
They needed a receiver. I mean, everyone thought it was going to be Brendan Ayuk, but Ayuk seems hell-bent on never playing again based on the way he's acted this offseason.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is.
Stefon Diggs is 32, turns 33 in late November. Last year, 17 games, had 85 catches, over 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Also, I saw Zach Ertz was cleared. Mm-hmm. He was out at Stanford throwing with Andrew Luck. Hoping to get in the next couple of weeks, get into a camp and work out for teams. I hope he's back in the league. I think he can still play. I mean, his last game before he got hurt last year, he had over 100 yards. I think he can still help a team.
Yeah, I hope he gets that chance.
Yeah.
All right. First question today is from Steve. Gents, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Daily podcasts. With that, I understand that you have to observe and report on up to 90 players during training camp. How do you decide who to focus on which days? Do you have a list for each day apart from the usual suspects like Q, Jalen, etc.? Do you just hope that stories unfold in front of you and focus on the players from there? Thanks, and remember to wear sunscreen, Dave. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I got sunscreen yesterday, and I get down to practice. I'm like, why does it smell like coconut everywhere? I didn't realize I'd bought coconut aroma sunscreen. A lot of it is just what we see on the field. And if you see a guy having a string of good days or a string of big plays, maybe I'll write about him. I think that's the main thing. What's the interesting story that day? Yeah,
so like things are going to unfold. Storylines are going to unfold if you just watch practice. There are some positions where like I'll go into a day and be like, all right, so like today Drew Kendall was at left guard. I took some extra time to like really focus in on how he was handling those responsibilities. During the developmental period, I really keep an eye on Uar Bernard just to see like, is he picking it up? So there are times where it's more than just like watching, just what's in front of you. I think there's some times where you narrow your scope a little bit based on just things you're curious about. Yeah. But for the most part, like the plays happen in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Next
But I
one.
think it's kind of a fun part of the job is like Dave and I will convene after practice and just kind of, what are you thinking? What do you want to write? And yeah, it works out.
Next one is from Pete. Hi, Reuben Dave. I'm from Narrabeen Beach, Sydney, Australia.
Beautiful country,
Mad
Narrabeen
Eagles
Beach.
fan. Been listening. Do you know that?
No.
Okay.
But it probably is.
Been listening to you guys for many years and live for your pods. My question is, with AJ Brown gone, and as an avid ocean swimmer who has an eye to sharks in the water, who is the potential shark and new drama in this year's locker room?
Ocean swimmer, huh?
Mm-hmm. Now there, you got to be careful with those sharks.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really get the sense there is anyone.
Yeah, the one like bit of drama that the team had surrounding it was, will Jalen Carter get signed or not? And he got signed. There's no one else who like desperately needs to be paid. And a lot of times the drama is just
right
contract related. So I don't think they have that. So then you're thinking like, okay, well, what if things go poorly on offense again? Is there anyone who would make a big stink like AJ did? And I don't think publicly there is.
I don't think so either. I mean, there's some guys we don't really know their personality, but
like I think Devontae behind the scenes would probably voice frustration.
Yeah.
Because I think he's already been doing that at times.
Yeah.
But he's never done it publicly. He's never like caused any kind of distraction in that way. I even remember like there were times AJ would be like, Devontae's saying the same thing. She's not saying it to you guys. But he didn't, and he hasn't. Yeah. So like typically receivers are the drama positions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they have a receiver who would cause any issues.
No. Maybe Brandon Hayes. Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad thing to have a drama-free training camp. Because I really think AJ became a distraction to the point where, I mean, great player, but like it's just enough already. It really was. It created a heaviness around the team. I don't think it helped.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one here from Sebastian. Hi, Dave and Rube. I'm Sebastian from Princeton, New Jersey, currently living in London, but never miss an episode. I'm curious about Hurts and running in training camp. I get that generally QBs are really protected, so we may not know for a while, but are there any glimpses you're seeing that this offense looks more like a run-friendly one for Hurts, coming off what I thought was a subpar season of him using his legs?
Yeah, I think we kind of touched on that a little earlier. It does seem like it's something that's on Sean Mannion's radar, and I think that's a good thing. I don't know how much they'll do it, but I think Sean Mannion understands what a weapon Jalen is when he takes off, either on a scramble or on a called play. So I think that's a good thing. I'm not sure Kevin Patullo ever embraced that part of the game.
It's interesting because I don't know if it was Patullo, I don't know if it was Hurts or Sirianni. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still very curious about how that comes together. I am taking notes 4 days in a row now where there's been some sort of a design run or a zone read or an RPO, something with the option of Jalen Hurts running the football. That's not a scramble. I don't think it's going to be a major part of what they do.
Yeah, I don't either, but I think it'll be a part of what they do.
Okay. Next one is from Evan. Hi, Dave and Rube. Love the pod. As a young Eagles fan who missed the Donovan McNabb, Andy Reid era, what are the biggest similarities and differences between the team now and the team 20 years ago?
As far as scheme, I
don't know.
I mean, I think the biggest difference is just personnel and Howie. I mean, you look at the wide receivers Andy had up until, T.O. was 20 years ago, but I mean, we joke about the linebackers. I mean, they just didn't have linebackers and they didn't have wide receivers, and they had a lot of success, got to some NFC championship games, got to a Super Bowl, but I felt like the roster was never really complete, and they're just solid at every spot now. And I think that's the biggest difference.
That's probably fair. Now, there was more stability with Andy in the offense.
Right.
For a lot of that time. Now, he wasn't always calling the plays. At times it was Marty.
Wise old owl.
Yeah. But I think there was more stability schematically for a lot of those years because you had Andy's offense, you had Jim Johnson's defense. The players might have changed a little bit, but you kind of knew what you're going to get. The Eagles have been they've kind of had a lot of the same staples defensively, but it's obviously much different with Vic. And then offensively, they've kind of had that rotating cast of characters. I know the staples have stayed the same, but I think from a continuity perspective, it's been a lot more up and down. And it makes you wonder, like, what if Andy had the rosters that the Eagles have now?
I always wonder about that. Like, what if, and now
they were talented. I don't want to act like he didn't have any talent.
Right.
They did.
But there were holes. There were always holes in the roster,
Mm-hmm.
and they were usually at the same positions. I always wonder what Donovan would have done if he had, imagine if he had an AJ and a Devontae. He never had that. Like, even when T.O. was here,
and the one year you gave him T.O.
got to a Super Bowl. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think personnel is the biggest difference for me.
We'll finish with this one from Kenny. Hey guys, whenever contracts get brought up, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are talked about as being the next big deals. Deservedly so. They're awesome. I haven't heard anyone bring up the fact that Jalix Hunt will be eligible next spring also. If he has a big year, are they able to pay all three?
Yeah, I think what you can't do is pay Jalix and Nolan Smith. So you kind of look at each position, and that's the problem with Moro Ojomo is you can't pay a third interior lineman big money. You just can't do it. You can't be top heavy at one position because that means you're not paying and spending enough at other positions. So I think at the edge, yeah, you can sign one of those guys. I just don't think you can sign both. And I think we'll kind of know when the season's over, or even halfway through the season, who it's going to be.
I would bet on Jalix.
I would too.
Yeah. I mean, that draft has the potential to be an all-time one.
Yeah.
I might already be. Three players, two of them were starters in the Super Bowl. One was a role player in that Super Bowl as rookies. Quinyon Mitchell in the first round, Cooper DeJean in the second round, Jalix Hunt in the third round. I mean, that could be all time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. It already is. Already on the way.
All right. Thanks for all those questions. If you have one for us, eagleeye@nbcuni.com. If you're watching on YouTube, you can scan that QR code and send us a question that way. This is also where I tell you, if you enjoy these daily pods and you've been listening every day and you haven't subscribed and you haven't given us a 5-star rating, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please,
what are you thinking?
Please do that. That helps us.
Just beg, Dave.
Was I begging? I guess I was.
That's okay.
All right. Please do that, though. That helps us. They tell us it helps us. I don't know how it helps us, but it does. So please do that.
Yep.
Reuben, anything else on your mind?
My pal Davis Sikkinen from the Hooters was there today. Hooters drummer for 47 years. I believe the Hooters have been together. Incredible. Great to see him. Had a bunch of other people that I play with in the Pocket group. Greg Davis, a guitar player from Baru Review, was there with his daughter Mizuki, who's been trying to meet Jordan Mailata for 3 years, and she finally did. He spent some time with her and with them, and they were just kind of standing there, and Uar came up and just kind of started hanging out with them, which they said he couldn't have been nicer. He's a large man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, always great to see. And it was cool because they actually, when Dave walked in the facility, they were playing the Hooters. They played Day by Day in his honor, which was nice. A kind of a cool little thing. He loved it. So yeah, good to see Dave. And I'll be playing with him at In the Pocket at Ardmore Music Hall, September 26th or 27th. I forget which one, but yeah, so that'll be fun.
Awesome.
Good dude. Huge Eagles fan.
Very cool. Let's wrap up this pod. For Reuben Frank, I'm Dave Zangaro. This has been Eagle Eye presented by Nissan. Like we mentioned, walk through on Thursday. The Eagles back at practice on Friday. We'll talk to you soon.